All right, well, it is a beautiful sunny afternoon in early November, and the general trapping season for marten and fisher starts tomorrow. So I'm just kind of putting things together. I know some of you have asked occasionally for a little walkthrough in the fur shed and get an update of what's going on. So I just thought I'd shoot this here. The weather's just beautiful right now, dead calm, sunny. It's a little bit warm, but it's actually going to cool off here in a little bit. Overnight it's going to get down into the 20s, so it should be good for trapping and hopefully keep the fur in decent shape for a couple of days. So anyway, these are my Lynx exclusion device boxes. I'm just getting them ready, and I am putting the bait in each box and putting a trap in and sealing, closing them up and stacking them, trying to get as many as I can on the back of the truck, hoping I can get 35 or 40 of them, maybe a little bit more. We'll see how high I stack them and all that. So anyway, tomorrow I'll do the first run. I didn't put any out in the woods yet. I'm kind of going to be more mobile this year. So this will be the first time in years where I actually don't know exactly where I'm going to set my first string of traps. But I have a general idea, and I'm just going to kind of have fun and play along as I go, I guess. So yeah, I get a bunch of muskrat and beaver scraps, muskrat carcasses and beaver fleshings. They're not going to come early in the season. They don't really come to bait that much, especially this year. There's quite a bit of food in the woods, from what I could tell, and it's just that year. So anyway, that's it's a little tough sometimes early in the season. I'm going to use some different lures, a little bit of gland lure, and as well as some sweet strawberry and honey mixture that I've made up. I know I get some of you asked for that. I get to make some up and put it up for sale, so you guys can try it out. But anyway, I do have a video on how to make that stuff, but at some point I'll make some up. But anyway, those are some of the boxes, and I'm just kind of digging a bunch of them out. And again, the bomb went off there. That's lumber to build more boxes when I get around to it. And we'll go over to the fur shed, bringing the chainsaw tomorrow. We had a huge windstorm, gusts up to 50-55 miles an hour yesterday, so I'm going to need the saw to possibly cut my way through a lot of those roads tomorrow. I trapped a few beavers this week, so I had 6 or 8 beaver carcasses here this morning. A friend of mine who traps in my area, he came over and picked some up. He needed some for marten and fisher, so I had a bunch of extras that I give him, and then I had a bunch of coyote carcasses here from coyote season here this past week, and I pulled those traps I think on Wednesday, and I'll talk about that in the podcast here in a couple episodes probably. I really enjoyed that. I had a lot of fun, but anyway, I had to get those out in the woods, get them out of the way. Took the glands off them and everything. There's some boxes that are partway through construction. And then we'll go into the fur shed, which is a little bit messy right now, but I got some beavers that I put up last night, and I got to do these guys. I ran out of freezer space, so I had these 6, and I had a full freezer and nothing to do, nowhere to put them. So I actually got to board those up tonight, trying to get them a little bit dry. One of the things that guys probably are aware of is you get a wet pelt. You can actually pull the pelt up away from the board on the nails, and that allows the air to get through and dry the hair on the other side. So that one was a little wet, so I did it on that one, and I'll probably bring this one up a little bit too. And actually, also if the hide is a little tight, and as it dries and it starts to shrink, those nails will allow some flexibility, so it can kind of pull in a little bit. I don't know if it makes much of a difference really. There's a rat me and the boy picked up this morning. We just got a few traps across the road, and we got one muskrat there. The raw waters, the drainage the flowage kind of changed a little bit, and there aren't as many muskrats in that area, so I'm gonna have to go a little further if I want to get some more. But I did get a few here. I get a few that I put up earlier this week, and then we got casters from some of the beavers that we got. drying out. Gonna use them to make lure. Might even sell a few. Get the oil sacks there. I use those to make lure. The new lure, the new call lure that I am working on, I'm testing this season. Made it last year. It uses beaver oil sacks as one of the ingredients. Got some ingredients there and some lure making stuff. I get to make another batch of long distance call and that sweet lure at some point. Wood stove's running great. Had to use it quite a bit recently. Just put a damper in to keep the wind from smoking her out in here. Just some stretchers and just general for handling stuff, podcasting stuff, notes, everything else you can imagine. And there's the lure making ingredients, various things and various lures. I don't use just lures that I make myself. I use a lot of other guys' lures, and so here's just a few from some other different brands and stuff. So, and then a bunch of ingredients. I get almost all my lure making ingredients from Cott's Brothers, the stuff that I have to buy. So yeah, that's that. Anyway, I hope that entertained somebody maybe, but I'm kind of excited here about tomorrow. I'm gonna have a lot of fun. Get up real early in the morning, go way out deep in the woods. I love to go up in the mountains for marten. Actually, there's some road systems that unfortunately there's some watersheds, drainages that are gonna be harvested really heavy, and they've just built roads into them, and the timber is there. I know the marten are there. It's just beautiful marten country, real high, real wild country for northern Maine, and it's not going to be wild for long. It's going to be all clear cuts and rabbits and coyotes in about 10-20 years. So I'm going to go in there and catch some marten and make some memories. Hopefully make some memories with my boys there before it goes away, because it's one of the last drainages in the area that still is quite wild. When that's gone, I don't know what I'll do. Maybe I'll go up to Alaska. Maybe I'll find someplace else, or just learn to adapt. But anyway, that's gonna be fun. Man, I love trapping. So we get the coyote season, early coyote season kind of wrapped up. We get some rats, we get some beavers, and we're going for marten and fisher. I really did love the coyote trapping. I enjoyed it a lot. I had a lot of fun, and I learned a lot, and I can see how guys can get addicted to that and really get into it and just do that. But man, I'm excited for marten trapping. I always am. So I'm gonna get back at it, and I'm trying to I will throw up a podcast tonight, so stay tuned for that if you listen to the podcast. But until then, I gotta get back to work.